Recalls. We all love them. You go and buy your first brand new vehicle, such as this Ford Maverick, and then all of a sudden you get a letter in the mail from the company that made your car. In this case, Ford, and figure out there are 8 different recalls on the brand new vehicle you just bought. So now you have to trudge your car that's brand new with 100 miles all the way back to the car dealership and give it to them for over a week so they can repair all of the problems. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today, specifically for this vehicle we have here. Eva, why don't you tell them about it?
Well, this is a 2024 Ford Maverick Lariat Tremor, so
About
it's
as high as
quite
you can get.
literally the peak of Mavericks that you can buy. But that doesn't mean it saves itself from the recalls.
No, and today we're going to be going over the recalls on this Maverick and vehicles like it, such as the Ford Escape, which share quite a bit of their parts with this car, and the Lincoln Corsair, which is the Lincoln version of the Ford Escape. So
Yes.
let's hop right into it. I'm Aiden.
And I'm Evo.
You're watching God Next. So, starting under the hood and with some of the powertrain things going on with the Maverick, the Escape, and on the Corsair, let's start with some things that are going on with the engine and the transmission. That's why we have the hood open. Now, these next two we're going to talk about apply specifically to the 2.5 liter hybrid version of this car. This is a 2-liter EcoBoost version, but we're bringing them up anyways because the hybrid's very popular because of its affordability. Now, The first one you want to talk about the engine, combusting.
Yeah, so the hybrids, this applies to the Maverick hybrid and the Escape hybrid. They seem to have some kind of an issue of just catching on fire. So that's a pretty bad recall.
Yeah.
Like, it's really bad. Imagine you're driving, and then obviously you just see smoke. I mean, like, I don't know. That's really bad.
So under an engine failure, what happens with these cars is under an engine failure with the hybrid, which doesn't happen often, but it's a recall for a reason. The engine fails, and then the vapors from the burning fuel and the oil cause an ignition of the engine and a combustion of the engine, leading to an engine fire, which is not good. And what was the other vehicle that was doing that? But the batteries exploded.
I think the Expedition had that issue.
Yeah, well, and then the Mach-E. Not too
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
which was a major recall.
Ford seems to have a track record of just exploding and catching on fire. So yeah, that I forgot about that. The Mach-E quite literally will.
I watched one explode on the highway once in front of a Ford dealership.
Yeah, and then the Expeditions, they were telling people for the longest time not to park them in the garage because it could catch on fire.
Why own one? Why own one? Well, the next one also applies to the hybrid as well, and that is going to have to do with the transmission and the engine itself. So what will end up happening is you're driving on the road having a really fun time. It might be a Sunday cruise with all the windows
saving gas with your hybrid.
Yep. All of a sudden, your car shifts to neutral for you, and the engine completely cuts power. Now, if you're going, leaving the neighborhood going 10 miles an hour, maybe that's not a big deal. But when you're going 75 miles an hour on the highway in heavy rush hour traffic, your engine losing power, well, could cause a 20-car pileup on the I-15.
Especially if you're not really a car person and you don't know how to react to it.
Right.
Because you're just at that point, you're giving throttle and it's just revving.
Yep.
Not doing anything. So.
Well, it loses power, so it wouldn't even be revving. It would just be completely out.
Yeah, you probably, if you're in the middle lane, oh boy.
Do you want to move on to the other recalls that are going on? Because those aren't the only 3.
So, Aiden, there's more.
Not only one, 4 more.
So, this isn't funny because this is bad.
It's funny how terrible it is.
It's funny how they don't care.
Right. I wouldn't say they don't care. I don't want to go that far.
Okay, not that they don't care,
this
but
isn't
why?
the Boeing airline company we're talking about.
Stop saying that. They're going to Hillary us. All right, listen. The first one is the biggest one.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Something about the tires not being manufactured
properly?
properly?
So, from the factory, they get these tires from a certain manufacturer. In this case, it's going to be Falcon. So,
which Falcon's not bad.
Well, they're good tires. They're good all-terrain tires. Here's what's happening. So they're being manufactured improperly. Now, it might be different since this is a Tremor. Sure. If they get it from, let's say...
These are all-terrain tires.
Yeah, so these are all-terrain tires. If you get a normal Maverick, I don't know who manufactures them.
Right.
But, it might be, I don't know who, Goodyear or something like that. Some tire brand. But what is happening is on most Mavericks that don't have these Falcon off-road tires on them, what's happening is they're coming from the manufacturer improperly made. And that is causing Mavericks to lose control on the road,
Huh.
which does pose a problem.
Yeah. Especially how I was just doing 75 on the highway.
Right.
What if I lose control?
So, would you rather lose control of your Maverick because of its tires, or would you rather lose power because the transmission control module cuts the power?
You pick.
Because I don't know which one I'd rather take.
Okay, so that's bad.
Yeah.
Here's another one. So any normal car out there, my Mercedes E55, Aiden's now
Sold.
gone M4.
Yeah.
You know, if your rear turn signal goes out, the front left one starts blinking super quick.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, whatever. If one of them goes out, it'll start blinking real quick. What happens here?
Basically what happens is when the turn signal starts to go out and starts blinking fast and everything, it doesn't.
What do you mean? Well, yeah,
it goes
burns
out.
It burns out, right?
Yeah, but the one that's supposed to blink fast goes out.
What do you mean?
Like it just doesn't work.
Why?
An electrical problem? So
Ford.
basically you don't have access to a turn signal for whatever side the car has a dying turn signal.
Nice. Nice. And these taillights are probably sealed, so you might not be able to just replace a bulb.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take out the entire assembly. One of the 8 other recalls is the fact that the rear taillights just don't work at all.
What? Why?
So, no matter how much I want to say I like the Maverick because of its price point and because it's a very good vehicle.
Price point?
I guess at 40 grand, it's not really cheap
Yeah,
anymore.
if you buy a base, it's a great truck.
But
this,
well, and just because you only spent $20,000 doesn't mean everything has to break on the car. But yes,
Yeah.
there are key situations where the taillights on the Maverick just will not illuminate. And the recall page where I looked all this stuff up said, making it so other drivers can't see you at night.
is there more?
No.
Tell me there's one more.
Oh, there's one more in the interior.
Let's get to the interior and talk about it. So we're sitting in this nice blue interior with orange stitching, Tremor logos. What could be wrong in here?
Nothing except for the gauge cluster not working.
What do you mean?
So under certain circumstances, and I'll tell you how many vehicles this affects. Hold on, everybody, hold on, pause, hold on. I'll tell you exactly how much it is.
He's got a list.
I have a list. For 62,813 potentially affected vehicles, what happens is that the gauge cluster will not illuminate properly, and it can't display warnings and stuff.
So,
And in the website's own words, increases the critical risk of a crash.
huh. So as I'm driving, this just goes dead.
I don't want to say it goes dead, but it gets really, really dim.
Why?
Especially at night when you need it to be illuminated and everything.
Right.
If you can't see the gauges because you're in the middle of the night driving.
But why?
You keep asking these why questions. I can't
Why?
tell you why. I'm assuming the electricity going to the...
But this looks like the same gauge cluster that's in the Escape.
Yeah, because it happens to the Escape too in the Corsair.
God, Ford!
It's not just the Maverick. If it shares the component, it can share the problem with the Escapes.
So
Now, that 62,000 units isn't only Mavericks. Like I said, that's Escapes, that's Lincoln Corsairs, and a Maverick. So it could be like a 20,000.
Sure.
But 20,000 people could be having these issues.
Yeah, so...
And for the engine one, by the way, the engine catching fire one, that was 165,000 potentially affected vehicles.
Well, if I had to take one of the two, I'd take the gauge cluster not illuminating over my engine catching on fire.
Yeah, it's a lot more expensive when the engine catches on fire.
Well, no, I wouldn't pay for it. The Ford would.
Well, yeah,
But the problem is...
it's a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, I don't want to blow up.
That is for different model years. Some of those are 2021 to 2023. Some of those are 2022 to 2024. Of course, in post, we can always put out what years they affect and their affected unit count is. But yes, that is the current recalls out for vehicles like the Ford Maverick, the Ford Escape, and the Lincoln Corsair, which are all basically on the same platform, same frame as each other, and they're all owned by Ford Motor Company.
Nice.
So,
Are you happy with that?
well, I don't own a Ford.
I don't either. Matthias, do you own a Ford? Shaking his head no.
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 Cameraman
So,
Matthias said no.
again, do I like Ford? Yes. I like the Super Duties. I like the Mustangs. I like the F-150s. I even like the Maverick. But
I don't like it
I don't like
breaking.
burning it down.
Yeah.
So,
We were over that with the Mach-E.
yeah.
Let's grow up, Ford.
But let us know down below if you guys own any of these. Have you ever ran into these issues? If you have, well, let us know what happened. Did Ford fix it, or did they tell you to go kick rocks? I hope they didn't tell you to go kick rocks. because then you should probably call an
Kick
attorney.
rocks.
But yeah, let us know down below what you guys think, and let us know if you've had these issues.
Yeah.
Let us know if this will affect your buying decision at one of these cars.
Yeah, I'm sure this will this
Yeah.
video could affect a lot of buying
But
issues.
we do need to be honest about this kind of stuff because it's a thing. It's a safety thing. So
Right. We wouldn't be good car journalists if we didn't talk about,
exactly.
if we didn't, do journalism on cars not working.
Exactly.
properly.
Exactly.
So.
But all right, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.